how to overcome nervousness and fear when speaking English. For many English beginners, speaking English can be a daunting task filled with nervousness and fear. The thought of making mistakes, being laughed at, or not being able to express oneself clearly often holds them back. However, it's important to remember that this is a common experience, and with the right strategies, it can be overcome. Understanding the roots of nervousness and fear. To effectively tackle nervousness and fear when speaking English, it's first necessary to understand where these emotions come from. One major source is the fear of judgment. Beginners often worry that others will evaluate their language skills harshly, focusing on every mistake they make. This fear can be especially strong in formal settings, such as classrooms or job interviews, where there's a perceived pressure to perform well. Another root cause is a lack of confidence in one's abilities. When learners haven't had much practice speaking English, they may doubt their capacity to communicate effectively. They might think, "I don't know enough words," or "my grammar is too poor," which leads to self-doubt and anxiety. Past negative experiences can also contribute to these feelings. If a learner has ever been mocked or criticized for their English speaking in the past, it can leave a lasting impression and make them reluctant to speak again. They may associate speaking English with embarrassment or failure. Additionally, the fear of the unknown plays a role. Not knowing how the listener will respond, whether they'll understand, or what topics will be discussed can create a sense of unease. This is particularly true in new or unfamiliar social situations. Building confidence through small steps. Building confidence is key to overcoming nervousness and fear. It's important to start small and gradually challenge oneself. Here are some practical steps to take. Practice in a safe environment. Begin by speaking English in a safe and supportive environment where you feel comfortable making mistakes. This could be with close friends or family members who are patient and encouraging. For example, you can have simple conversations with a sibling or a friend who is also learning English, discussing topics like your favorite hobbies or weekend plans. Since both of you are in the same boat, there's less pressure, and you can learn from each other's mistakes. Another option is to join an English-speaking club or a study group specifically for beginners. These groups are usually designed to be non-judgmental, and members are focused on helping each other improve. In such settings, you can practice speaking English without worrying about being judged. You might start by introducing yourself, saying something like, "Hello, my name is your name, and I'm trying to improve my English. It's nice to meet you all." Start with simple phrases and sentences. Don't feel the need to use complex vocabulary or grammar right away. Start with simple phrases and sentences that you're comfortable with. For instance, when ordering food at a restaurant, you can say, "I'd like a hamburger and a Coke, please." As you become more confident, you can gradually add more details such as, "I'd like a hamburger with extra cheese and a large Coke, please." Practicing these simple phrases in different contexts can help you build muscle memory and make it easier to recall them when needed. You can also try describing your daily routine using basic sentences. "I wake up at 7 o'clock, I brush my teeth and eat breakfast, then I go to work." By starting small, you'll experience success early on, which can boost your confidence. Set achievable goals. Setting achievable goals can give you a sense of direction and accomplishment. For example, you can set a goal to have a 5-minute conversation in English with a friend by the end of the week. Or you might aim to speak English for 10 minutes every day, even if it's just talking to yourself about what you're doing. When you achieve these goals, take a moment to celebrate your progress. This positive reinforcement can help you stay motivated and build confidence. As you meet smaller goals, you can set more challenging ones, such as giving a short presentation in English or having a conversation with a native speaker. Changing your mindset towards mistakes. One of the biggest barriers to speaking English confidently is the fear of making mistakes. However, it's important to change your mindset and see mistakes as a natural part of the learning process. Embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. Every mistake you make is a chance to learn and improve. For example, if you say, "I go to the park yesterday," someone might correct you and say, "It should be, I went to the park yesterday." Instead of feeling embarrassed, take note of this mistake and remember the correct form of the past tense. Next time, you'll be more likely to use it correctly. Native speakers understand that learning a language is difficult, and they're usually willing to help. They won't judge you harshly for making mistakes. In fact, they might appreciate your effort to communicate in their language. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, embrace them and use them as stepping stones to better English. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to compare yourself to other English learners who seem to speak more fluently or with fewer mistakes. But everyone learns at their own pace, and there's no need to feel discouraged if you're not progressing as quickly as someone else. Focus on your own journey and celebrate your own achievements. Maybe you struggled to say a simple sentence a month ago, but now you can have a short conversation. That's progress worth celebrating. Remember, even native speakers have different levels of proficiency, and no one is perfect. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you make mistakes or feel nervous. Instead of criticizing yourself, say something encouraging like, "It's okay, I'm still learning and I'll do better next time." Negative self-talk can only increase your anxiety and make it harder to speak English. By practicing self-compassion, you'll create a more positive mindset that will help you overcome your fears. Increasing exposure and practice. The more you practice speaking English, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. Here are some ways to increase your exposure and practice. Speak English whenever possible. Look for opportunities to speak English in your daily life. This could be with colleagues at work, classmates at school, or even strangers in public. For example, if you're at a store, you can ask the cashier, "How much does this cost?" Or, "Do you have this in a different size?" You can also try speaking English to yourself. Describe your actions as you do them, such as, "I'm washing the dishes. The water is hot. I need to dry them with a towel." This can help you get used to hearing yourself speak English and make it easier to think in the language. Use language learning apps and tools. There are many language learning apps and tools that can help you practice speaking English. Apps like Tandem or HelloTalk allow you to connect with other language learners around the world and have conversations via text, voice, or video. You can choose to talk to people who are native English speakers or other learners, depending on your comfort level. Another useful tool is speech recognition software, which can help you improve your pronunciation. Apps like ELSA Speak or Speechling listen to your speech and give you feedback on how to improve. This can be a great way to practice speaking English on your own and build confidence before speaking to others. Watch and imitate native speakers. Watching English movies, TV shows, or videos can help you learn natural pronunciation, intonation, and vocabulary. Try imitating what the characters are saying, paying attention to how they stress certain words and pause between sentences. This can help you sound more natural when speaking English. For example, if you're watching a scene where someone says, "What do you want to do tonight?" try repeating it out loud, mimicking the tone and rhythm. You can also pause the video and practice responding, such as, "I want to go to the movies." This type of practice can help you become more comfortable with the flow of English conversation. Preparing for specific speaking situations. Different speaking situations can cause different levels of nervousness. By preparing for specific situations, you can reduce your anxiety and feel more confident. Job interviews. Job interviews in English can be particularly stressful, but with preparation, you can handle them with confidence. Research common interview questions in English, such as "Tell me about yourself," "What are your strengths and weaknesses?" and "Why do you want to work for this company?" Prepare answers to these questions in advance using simple and clear language. Practice saying them out loud and ask a friend to give you feedback. For example, when answering "Tell me about yourself," you can say, "I'm your name. I graduated from university with a degree in major. I've been working in field for years, and I'm excited about the opportunity to work for your company." On the day of the interview, take a few deep breaths before entering the room to calm your nerves. Remember to speak slowly and clearly, and don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you don't understand a question. "Could you please repeat that question, please?" Presentations. Giving a presentation in English can also be intimidating, but preparation is key. Start by outlining your presentation in English, making sure your main points are clear. Practice delivering your presentation out loud, timing yourself to ensure you stay within the allotted time. You can also record yourself giving the presentation and watch it back to identify areas for improvement, such as speaking too quickly or using filler words like or like. Ask a friend or colleague to listen to your presentation and give you feedback on your content and delivery. On the day of the presentation, arrive early to set up and familiarize yourself with the room. Take a moment to relax before starting and remember that your audience is there to learn from you. If you make a mistake, don't panic, just correct yourself and continue. Social gatherings. Social gatherings, such as parties or dinners, can be a great opportunity to practice speaking English, but they can also be nerve-wracking. Prepare some conversation starters in advance, such as "How do you know the host?" or "What do you do for a living?" You can also learn some common phrases for small talk, like "The weather is nice today, isn't it?" or "Have you seen any good movies lately?" Having these phrases ready can help you start conversations and keep them going. If you're not sure what to say, listen to others' conversations and join in when you have something to add. Remember, everyone is there to have a good time, and they'll appreciate your effort to speak English. Building a support system. Having a support system can make a big difference in overcoming nervousness and fear when speaking English. Surround yourself with people who encourage and support your learning journey. Find a language partner. A language partner is someone who is also learning your native language, and you can help each other practice. You can meet with your language partner regularly to speak English and their native language for a set amount of time. This can be a fun and relaxed way to practice speaking English, as you're both learning and can support each other. You can find language partners online through websites or apps like italki or Tandem. When you first meet with your language partner, you can say, "Hi, I'm your name. I'm trying to improve my English and I hope we can help each other." Join English-speaking communities. Joining English-speaking communities, both online and offline, can give you more opportunities to practice speaking English. Offline, you can look for local English clubs or meetups. Online, you can join forums, Facebook groups, or chat rooms where people speak English. In these communities, you can ask questions, share your experiences, and practice speaking English with others who are at a similar level. You might even make new friends who share your interest in learning English. Seek feedback from others. Asking for feedback from others can help you identify areas for improvement and build confidence. Your friends, family, language partner, or teacher can give you feedback on your pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. For example, you can say, "Could you listen to me speak English and tell me if there's anything I can improve?" Be open to their suggestions and use them to guide your learning. Remember, feedback is a gift that can help you become a better English speaker. Practicing relaxation techniques. When you feel nervous, practicing relaxation techniques can help calm your mind and body, making it easier to speak English confidently. Deep breathing. Deep breathing is a simple but effective way to reduce anxiety. When you feel nervous, take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this several times, focusing on your breath. This can help slow down your heart rate and calm your nerves. You can practice deep breathing before speaking English, such as before a conversation or a presentation. It only takes a minute or two, but it can make a big difference in how you feel. Visualization. Visualization is another technique that can help you overcome nervousness. Before speaking English, close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking confidently and fluently. Visualize the situation, such as having a conversation with a friend or giving a presentation, and imagine yourself handling it with ease. This can help you build confidence and reduce anxiety by creating a positive mental image. You can also visualize yourself making mistakes and handling them calmly, which can help you feel more prepared for real-life situations. Positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are statements that you repeat to yourself to build confidence and change your mindset. For example, you can say, "I am capable of speaking English confidently," or "I learn from my mistakes and improve every day." Repeat these affirmations to yourself regularly, especially before speaking English. They can help you replace negative thoughts with positive ones and build the confidence you need to speak English without fear. Conclusion. Overcoming nervousness and fear when speaking English is a journey that takes time and practice. By building confidence through small steps, changing your mindset towards mistakes, increasing your exposure and practice, preparing for specific situations, building a support system, and practicing relaxation techniques, you can become a more confident English speaker. Remember, everyone starts somewhere, and it's okay to feel nervous. The more you speak English, the easier it will become. So take a deep breath, start small, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. With time and effort, you'll be speaking English confidently in no time.